What's up, guys? 2005 Toyota Corolla. We got a leak in the valve cover gasket all around. Customer states they smell something. It's due to, once this leaks, as you can see, it's going on to the exhaust manifold. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace this gasket. It's leaking very bad all around. So we got ourselves a new Pro valve cover gasket, and the part number VS50542R. Pro makes this baby, and inside it has a complete kit. We're gonna open that. You guys are gonna see that. But anyways, to change this gasket, what you need to do is remove this clamp. You can squeeze this clamp and just push it back. And this pipe usually will be super hard, and there's nothing you could do because over time this plastic that Toyota puts on this gets very rough. But if you take a lighter, you heat it up a bit, and usually it will give you a hard time putting it back on. But very important, we put that back on. They got a couple extra cables, that's for the alarm system, so we're not worried about that. So we're gonna remove this. There's a pipe back here for the PCV valve here, vacuum line back there, same thing like this one. You squeeze that and you get that pipe off. And okay, again, that thing is brittle, so I'm gonna have that off. So we're gonna remove all these clamps in here and our harness. I'm sorry, all these clips and our harness. Once we take off this 10mm, our harness is 10mm here too, but it's missing. This whole harness should just go back, but what I want to do is take off that pipe. So after that, we're gonna take off the 10mm. This little guy had to come off. 10mm all around, and this baby should come off. This one hitting back over here, and we should be able to change this gasket pretty easy. Okay, so I got that pipe off. I just stuck it down there, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the bolts of these ignition coils. If you see any oil on top of the coils or inside the plugs, that's another reason why you want to change this gasket, because this gasket is what prevents oil from going inside the bars. And if you're removing spark plugs or anything, you don't want to put any of your bolts over here, okay? Because you don't want to drop anything. Even doing the cover, just push it to the side. So these ignition coils, once the connectors are off, they should easily just come off, unless there's an issue with these. Okay, okay, they should just come off like that. And this one's just freaking don't want to come out. Okay, what I want to do here is I am gonna take off this 10mm, and if you got a 10mm cross on the other end here, remove that as well. So let's push this to the side, and our harness should just lift up and get out of our way. It should not bother us anymore. Anyways, this ignition coil bothers me. Okay, comes out. I guess they changed it, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to keep this in order, but I will keep that new one to where they had it, just in case. Okay, I dropped that rubber boot. I'm gonna pick that off and one on the floor from right here. Okay. Anyways, that's out. So all I need to do is I need to take off all these bolts, try to keep them in order. Okay, this is a 12mm. I don't even know why they put a 12mm. There's two in the center, so make sure you take those off. And these are the long two bolts. 1, 2, and what I want to do is I'm going to take off all the bolts all around, and then we're going to come back and remove the gasket ourselves. Okay, so I took out the bolts. So pretty much you got a bolt here, bolt here, bolt here. I'm sorry, this is a nut. Bolt here, bolt here, bolt here, bolt right there, and then you got one in the corner here, one in the back there, one over there. It's all done and deal. This thing should be ready to come off. Move this out of the way. Oh, we got one hidden bolt here, so I need to get that out of the way. The nut, hidden nut. There you go. And this baby is ready to come out. And as you can see, you do have a little bit of oil trying to leak in there, and that's another reason why you want to change your gasket. So now this thing should simply, somebody worked on this because all these stuff are loose over here. Anyways, this guy is gonna simply just come out. So someone just have worked on this before. Okay, there you go. The gasket's been changed before too, but we don't know why it's still leaking, so it had to be a bad gasket. So this baby comes right off. Okay, so we're gonna push this and we're gonna throw it away. Just like that. Okay, now we're gonna take our clean rag here. What you wanna do is you wanna clean this little guy, okay? You wanna clean the heck out of this. And so this could have been just a bad gasket, bad job. It's like they have changed it before, but there's clearly a leak in front of you guys. And the customer said they can smell all that oil going onto that manifold. She was smelling all that. Okay, there you go. This baby is out of the way. And there's your cam sensor sitting right there. So make sure this is nice and clean. Nice and clean all around. Okay, nice and clean. Top of a little bit of silicone here. Top of a little bit of silicone right there. That would do the job. So what I want to do here is, so like I said, they already have done the job. So this is pretty easy for us to just continue and finish out the job, because everything has already been done once before. So I like to grab a little groove of this tissue here, and I like to go all around and just clean it out. And a little bit around these bores here as well, here as well, and here as well. Anyways, that's done. Now it's time for us to open our gasket up and finish out the job. Doesn't take too much of a time. Okay, and I forgot, clean up these little guys too. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. It's time for us to install the new gasket. Okay, so we got our new gasket here. It comes as a complete. It comes with the 2 little grommets. That's for the 2 main bolts right in the center. The one that's on the top of the valve, right there, right there. We're gonna change those as well. Okay, what I like to do here is taking my silicone here. What you want to do is you want to put a small amount right here. The reason why you want to put it here is because this is where the valve cover, the timing cover meets the whole block itself, and that will be an uneven surface, and it will lock that up for you. Now what I'm gonna do is I am gonna take this gasket. Sometimes I'll put like a little taps of silicone, but let's see how this baby works out. If it doesn't need it, it doesn't need it. So this is the way it goes, just like that. So if your gasket can hold itself down, pretty good. Okay, so this is a different material of a gasket, so we're most likely gonna have a better luck with this little guy. And try to buy a good gasket. If you go to dealer, that'd be the best option right there. Okay, just tap it down. It should hold itself. If the gasket doesn't hold itself, then you might have to use a little bit of a silicone. And if it's cold, like you're working in cold weather, that might be a bad idea, because the gasket's gonna shrink, and it is gonna probably not fit properly, or it's probably like, this is what this is doing is it's like a corner here. It won't want to engage into this corner, but just play along with it. It will find its spot. Bada bing, bada boom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly put this gasket on. Shouldn't be too big of a deal putting this on. Just make sure once your gasket is on, make sure it is sitting and it is not like halfway out. And gasket will fall over. Like if you tip this over, it will tend to flip over. So be careful with that. So I like to put my fingers and guide this gasket as much as I could. Okay, my glove is caught onto something here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work it up a bit more so I can make it a perfect job here. And using silicone in this is not gonna work out right now because it's not gonna make a big of a difference. So what I wanna do is I'm gonna take this little guy, I'm gonna smack this on. Just make sure your gasket is on properly 100%. Even if you need to take a mirror and look down there. And that's it. We got this baby on. Now it's time for me to put all the bolts in. So you might want to take a mirror, look all around, and see if your gasket is on properly. So just to confirm it, I'm gonna take my light here. I wanna go around. As you can see, it's red here, but in the back, you can't see. You can't put your head in there, but you should be able to see with this little guy. Perfect. Gasket is perfect. Okay, we're looking good here. Let's see over here on this side. Perfect. All around. Okay, it's looking good. Just gonna take a look at this side here. There you go. I can see it. All right, so it's pretty much in there, nice and good. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all the bolts back together, tighten them, and I still need to put the 2 liter seals that go onto here. So this is kind of, it's like a hard rubber. A lot of people fail to do this, okay? So make sure you do this. It comes with the tuning pieces, so why not do it? Okay, so here's one. A lot of people will just leave this part alone. That's a bad idea. So it has like a little plastic flat surface to it. So that's one side you want to face down. There you go. Very easy to get this in. You just pull this off. And as you can see, that one was crushed. And this baby goes in. There you go. So what I'm going to do here is my gasket is nice and even in there. And then I'm going to finish up the job. Tighten these 2 bolts together flush first. And then work your way out. Tighten this, tighten that, tighten this, tighten that, tighten these. Put everything back together. Make sure both of the vacuum lines are on. Make sure your coils are on and connected. All right, so I'll show you guys once it's finished. So very important you get these back ones before you get the front ones. So the back, because the engine is tilted a bit, so most of the leak will be in the back. So don't just go crazy tighten them. Do it evenly and nice and evenly. There you go. So I got that. I got this. I'm gonna lock up this little guy. I'm gonna lock up this little guy. I'm going back and forth pretty much, back and forth. I got all the bolts in, back and forth. And you want to do crisscross here. I'm going to get this little guy, and more importantly, the back one has to be nice and tight. Bada bing, bada boom. No cleaning required, because you're not going to be able to clean anything there, and you might destroy other things. So once this job is done and completed, we will come back and take a look. Okay, so this baby's all done. I'm gonna put this back underneath this here. They had a loose, so I just didn't want to make anything different than it was. Anyways, make sure everything nice and tight. Start up the car. Make sure it has enough oil in there, and make sure you look all around for any more major leak. Because after you do the job, it could be a major leak that like the gasket didn't sit properly and it's gonna leak out. Give a good hour for the silicone to dry up. Bada bing, bada boom, we're all done here. So I'm gonna give it an hour. After that, I'm gonna check it, but you're not gonna see that part. But if you see any leak going all around, anywhere, time to take it apart. That's the only thing I can tell you. Thank you for watching my video. Bye-bye.